guys, it's Sonia, and today I bring to you 25 bookish facts about me. Okay, let's dig right in. So, fact number 1. I love sniffing books, old and new. I actually used to do this for my exam papers back in India when they used to be freshly printed. I'd always sniff it before I started taking it because it was like a good luck charm. But yeah, I do that, and I particularly like the scent of old musty books that are in libraries, not like old musty books that are like full of like dirty food and stuff. That's just disgusting. But yeah, I like the smell of old books. I love sniffing them. It's kind of calming. Fact number 2. I am an asshole about lending my books out. I am very particular about who I give it out to. If I know you have a record of being a hot mess, you will likely not get my book, and I will not say no, but I will find a way of not giving it to you. And also, if I do lend it out, it has to be returned in the exact same condition, or I will force you to buy me another book. So, most people don't end up borrowing books from me, and I don't like giving them out, so it just kind of works out. But number 3, I prefer having consistent editions and hardback or paperback of a book. Like, I prefer consistency. It's just nicer to look at, and I don't know if that's like a weird neurotic thing about me, but I just need everything to be the same. The only exceptions are the Game of Thrones, Throne of Glass, and Harry Potter series. I will never do anything to my Harry Potter series because those were gifts. The first 5 books are all the same, and then the last 2 are the very first paperback editions of the first print of the UK version of Harry Potter. The UK version is sold in India, so that's why I have those. But I'm definitely going to buy other sets that are consistent so I can have it. Number 3. I once read 13 books in a week, and that has been my fastest record of book reading to date. It was just that I was bored out of my mind, and I just started and finished, like, almost non-stop. 7 of them were Harry Potter, and I feel like when you read a book several times over, it's faster to read, so I guess that's probably why that happened. Yeah, that was a good week, and I have not had one like that since. Number 5. I love fanfiction. The second I feel myself going into a book slump, I start reading fanfiction because it makes me feel like I'm still being productive in my reading schedule. I am an avid lover of fanfiction. I will find any and all. Number 6. I prefer things that happen in books. I prefer canon plots. This kind of relates to my fanfiction thing. Like, alternate universe fanfictions are great and all, but I prefer ones that are in-universe. And especially with ships, if it happens in a book, it's good for me. The only exception is the Requiem Delirium trilogy, I think. I'm not sure what the first book was. And a Hex Hall. Those were just dumb. So no. Those are the only 2 books that I hate the couples in. I will get into that in another video probably, but those are the only 2 books where I disagree with everything that happens. This probably also explains why I hate Cursed Child so much, because it was nothing like the original 7 books. Number 7. My book obsession started with the Nancy Drew and Enid Blyton books. I read them about almost at the same time. Enid Blyton is for younger kids, whereas like Nancy Drew I'd say is about like 5th through 6th, 7th grade. But I read them just about the same time, and that's what got me into my obsession. And if you guys don't know who Enid Blyton is, I think she was one of the most popular children's authors in the UK, and I'm not sure her books are sold here in the States. I haven't found anything. A lot of her books are like boarding school series, and those are really fun for me to read. That was my formative years for reading and for just being a child. Number 8. The last book I tried to read in India, and the first book I read here in the States was Twilight, and I never actually finished it. I got up until the part where I think she's out buying prom dress and she almost gets raped, and I just DNF that, not going past that. Never gonna read Twilight. Number 9. Although I do read ebooks, they never feel like real books to me. I've read 3 or 4 books on my phone and on an e-reader, and they've just never felt like real reading experiences. All those books feel like really vivid dreams. Number 10. for my career, I actually want to go into designing book jackets and designing the interior layout of the books. Number 11, I hate cracking paperback spines. It's just the worst thing. I will do everything in my abilities to actually avoid cracking spines. So I don't open the book sometimes all the way. I'll open it like this to keep the spine intact, and that just makes it harder for me to read, but anything to not crack the spine, I swear. Number 12, and I think most people do this, is I take my book jackets off my books when I read them, and I put them back in the spot where I took the book off the shelf, so my mom won't throw it away. Number 13, contrary to common assumption and most people's experience with this, I read Harry Potter in the 9th grade for the very first time. I was scared of the books, actually. I'd watched the 4th movie, and all the snakes and Voldemort and the Death Eaters dressed as Ku Klux Klan scared the living shit out of me. Number 14, if a book is assigned to me by myself, by a teacher, by a friend, if someone tells me to read it, especially within a certain time frame, my brain just turns off. This is kind of why I do not do TBRs, because the second I'm like, this is how many books I need to finish in a certain period of time, I will not do it. It never happens at all, ever. Number 15, I only actually started buying books to read in around 9th or 10th grade, I think. I used to be an only library reader. I thought buying books was wasteful and that libraries were there for a purpose, and that if I got to read and didn't have to pay, that was great, but now I'm obsessed with buying books, so. Number 16, my first ever book convention and book signing was Texas Teen Book Festival last October or November, just about, and I got to meet Leigh Bardugo, Renee Ahdieh, and Roshni Chokshi, all three of my faves at that point in time, and still now, and that was one of the greatest experiences of my life. I went alone, I was shit scared, but do not regret, will do again. 17, since I've moved to the US, I've had more reading slumps than actually good periods of extensive reading, and that's very upsetting. Number 18, and this is another Harry Potter fact. If you think Snape was better for Lily than James was, I will probably not be your friend. I have a couple who are like that, and we just don't get into that debate, but 19. I cannot for the life of me actually think of any kind of creative storyline to write a book of my own. I would like to, I wouldn't mind doing it, but I can't. The last thing I wrote about was in the 3rd grade, and it was a adventure through the chocolate islands or something like that. Some weird sappy thing that almost every girl in my grade probably also wrote. Number 20. I do not like it when people read, drink, or do weird things while they're reading my books. I'm the only one who's allowed to eat food when I'm reading my books. Number 21. I usually have a book on me at all times, in actual format, not ebooks. Number 22. I organize my bookshelves by genre and alphabetically by last name of author. It just feels cleaner. Number 23. I can read almost anywhere. On the bus while the bus is shaking violently, sometimes in class while my teachers are giving lectures, and while I'm pooping. Do not judge me for that. Number 24. My book hangovers are sometimes so bad, I go to sleep and wake up for weeks on end vividly dreaming about the books. Not self-insert, but just certain snippets of the plot that really got me. And last but not least, there was a time when my ultimate life goal was to get so rich that I'd buy a mansion and have each room dedicated to one of my favorite book series, inside of which I'd have several editions of said book series, and I'd personally paint the walls with murals from the books. And I was gonna open that up as a museum and live my life out in my book mansion alone with a lot of pets. So that's all I have for you today. Now you know 25 things about me that are book related. Some of them are really freaking strange, so do not judge me for them, but I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!